on the Colbys.
Need any help?
No, thanks. It just peels right off.
Hey, how about that lunch you promised me?
Why not? I'm not hungry, but I sure am curious.
You mean these are not the original tools?
No, I had to replace them when the Ferrari was totaled. Wait a minute. You towed those away with a wreck.
You had a new set made up when you bought the Porsche?
Yeah, last month. My God, these tools didn't even exist when Mahoney was killed.
Jason, please, what's got into?
I wasn't going to do this till after dinner, but I think we've waited long enough.
I want you to, Zach. I have no loyalties to him. Not anymore. You spied on me. If I'd known I'd have been blamed for it anyway, I would have slept with Zach and loved every minute of it. Oh, Zach.
You're safe now. I'll never let Jason hurt you again.
What was that?
You're trespassing. I'm telling you to leave. I'm warning you.
Jason!
Can you hear me? It's me. It's Jason. I'm here. I'm with you. It's going to be all right. It's only a few more minutes now. You just hang on. The Lord give her strength.
You know I'm ticklish.
I know everything about you.
And not quite everything.
What, are you holding back on me?
Uh-huh, all day. I've been waiting till we're alone to tell you.
All right, who is it? What's his name?
Well, I don't even know if it is a he.
Are you pregnant?
I think so.
When will you know for sure?
Monday. It is what he wanted, isn't it?
What do you think? How does the name Heather strike you?
Well, I think it'd be tough for a boy to live with.
This time it's going to be a little girl.
Oh, is that in order?
A little girl just as pretty as her mommy.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Who is it?
Monica, I have to see you. Something terrible's happened.
Just a moment.
Daddy just called. There's been an accident. Mother's been shot.
How is she, Doctor?
The bullet didn't enter the brain. However, she does have a subdural hematoma.
Subdural?
A brain bruise.
How serious?
Well, that depends.
On what?
A lot of factors, Mr. Colby. Primarily the swelling. Now, even when that subsides,
And if it doesn't?
there's a pretty good chance we can bring it down.
Damn it, I want to know what we're facing. The worst.
She could lose her sight. Look, it's much too early to speculate.
I'm not asking you to speculate. When will you know?
As soon as she's stabilized, we'll do more tests, x-rays. A few hours.
I'm sorry, Mr. Powers. Only immediate family members can see Mrs. Colby.
She's right, Zach. You're off limits again.
How is she?
They don't know yet.
You'd better pull through this.
We agree on that.
You know, Jason, you really don't deserve her.
The lady's still my wife.
Ah, your wife, yes. To have and to hold another Colby asset. Tell me, Jason, aside from your name and fortune, what's left in this marriage for Sable? Your devotion, your love, your fidelity?
None of that's any of your damn business.
Ah, you're wrong. I care what happens to her. You see, I love your wife. Oh, you find that hard to believe, huh?
I find you hard to believe. You try to steal my pipeline, you kill 2 men and frame my sons for it? Sneaking into my wife's bed is just your style.
You know nothing. Your wife has never been unfaithful to you.
Very gallant.
Gallant, I? No, my friend. Nothing would please me more than to rub your nose in the truth, if it were the truth.
You expect me to believe that?
Think, Jason, think. You imagine it's easy for Zach Powers to admit there is a woman, any woman, he couldn't have? Believe me, your lady was true to you. She still is. Her only flaw. The difference between you and me is you owned her. I valued her. So if anything should happen to her, I give you my word that I will...
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Lieutenant Gillen?
Any news on Mrs. Colby's condition yet?
I'm waiting for the doctor now.
Will you be needing me anymore, Lieutenant?
No, the statement you gave me on the boat will be enough for now, Mr. Powers. But I will want to talk to you later.
I'm entirely at your disposal, Lieutenant. You can find me at my apartment or my office. I'll check with the doctor later.
As soon as we hear from the doctor, I'm going to have to ask you to come to the station with me.
What for?
I'm afraid I have to book you.
Book me? On what charge?
Technically, on assault with a deadly weapon. Now, it's strictly a formality. There's nothing to worry about.
Zach, you said you were spending the night on your yacht.
I changed my mind. Any objections?
Well, it's just a little inconvenient.
I'm glad you're up. I don't have to wake you. It is a matter of some importance I'd like to discuss with you. A certain taxi driver in Athens.
You think maybe it could wait, Zach?
Hello, Mr. Powers. We were just having a nightcap.
Bliss. I had no idea you and my stepson were acquainted.
Oh, a small world.
Too small, I'm afraid. I think you'd better get dressed and go home now, young lady.
Hey, Zach. The lady is my guest, remember?
I wish I could forget it. I meant what I said, Bliss. Now.
Who do you think you are?
This is my home. That's the daughter of my business partner, and you are out of line. Where are you going? I want to talk to you.
Just following orders, Zach. Somebody has to take the young lady home.
Daddy! How is she? Any news?
No, I didn't.
Jason, Is she going to be all right?
Yes. Yes, I'm sure she will.
So how did it happen?
An accident, a blind, stupid accident.
Dr. Sir Jason.
Well, what's the verdict?
We looked at the wet plates. There's no sign of damage to the brain or skull.
Thank God. What about the swelling?
It's started to subside. Your wife's a very, very lucky woman, Mr. Colby. Another millimeter and, But as things stand now, she may even be lucky enough to be out of here in a day or two.
When can I see her?
She's conscious now. You'll probably find her a little groggy from the medication she's asking for.
Oh, Jason.
What can I say?
Don't say anything. Just be here with me. It was an accident, darling. A silly accident.
I wouldn't hurt you ever. Not for all the world. Forgive me?
For being jealous. Oh, I'm the one that should be forgiven. Oh, what a fool I was. I only ran to Zach because I was hurt. Because you didn't believe me about that tape.
I was wrong. I should have known that that wasn't my girl. My girl, all these years.
Oh, Jason.
I know you're mine. Only mine.
That dreadful tape.
I was wrong. I misjudged you. This belongs to you.
I belong to you. You know that, didn't you?
You try to rest now.
Oh, Jason. Oh, you really do love me after all. You really do.
Sabela, you are really amazing. 48 hours ago, I thought I had lost you forever, and now look at you.
Thank you for coming, Zach.
Was Camille ever so lovely, even on her deathbed?
It's hardly my deathbed. They call it a superficial wound. I could be out of here even today.
I thank God you're all right. You have no idea how sorry I am about the whole ugly incident.
It wasn't your fault. It was nobody's fault. But I didn't ask you here to talk about that night. I wanted to say goodbye.
Goodbye? Again?
Truly, Zach, this time I mean it. It's no good. You and I can never be.
But we are. You know we are. The other night proved that.
The other night was nearly the biggest mistake of my life. I only ran to you because I wanted to hurt him. And you know what that means.
That you trust me, that you love me.
That I love Jason.
Sable, if Jason hadn't come aboard like just that moment.
But he did. Because he couldn't bear the thought of me in another man's arms.
Oh, you think he came looking for you? The jealous husband?
I know he did. Look, he found out about us.
Sable, he came because of his sons, not you. He thought I was the one who framed Miles and Jeff. That's why he was there.
That is not true. And I have this to prove it. This is a tape of us.
A tape. We were being followed.
He gave it to me because he knew it meant nothing. He still trusts me. He still loves me. And what's more, I still love him, and I always will.
Sable, you're deceiving yourself.
Oh, Zach. I must listen to my heart. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry.
Ah, Sabella. My beautiful, innocent Sabella. We're not through. You and I, not yet. You are going to need me. I promise you that. And when you do, I'll be there. For you, Sabella, I'll always be there. Always.
Do you know what this is, Moretti?
Yeah, that looks like tire mallet your son used to kill Mahoney.
Wrong. This one will hammer the last nail in your political coffin.
Oh, and how do you figure it's going to do that?
You've been suckered, pal. Miles was set up just like Jeff, and I had to find it out for you.
Was it set up? His fingerprints are all over that mallet.
Sure, and you found it right beside Mahoney's body. But it didn't exist till after he was killed. Here. An affidavit from the man who made it. To order. And a copy of the bill of sale. You've been had. Your mallet was planted. Somebody tried to pin that murder on my boy, and you bit. They didn't know Miles had totaled his old Ferrari, so they stole your mallet from the trunk of his new car. Mallet that wasn't made when Mahoney was murdered. You want to move for dismissal, counselor?
Not so fast. I gotta check all this out first.
Yeah, you do that. But don't take too long, or I might use your tactics. Then you'll read all about this in the morning papers. I think the public would be fascinated to know how you prosecute your criminal cases, counselor. And why? Not for justice, but for malice. Pure, personal malice.
May have wormed your way out of this one, Colby. I'm not sure yet, but one of these days you're gonna slip, and when you do, I'm gonna be there. You can count on that.
I'll be waiting. You can count on that.
Put me through to Lieutenant Gillen.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Doctor. Yeah, I'll take care of everything. Goodbye. He says I can bring her home this afternoon.
So soon?
Apparently, she's as good as new.
Oh, thank God. Not just for Sable, but for you. If anything had happened,
It's over now. She's all right. Miles is in the clear. We can go on with our plans. With our life.
not like this. We can't tell her now.
She's got to know sooner or later.
She's barely out of the hospital.
Maybe you're right. We'll put it off.
At least until she's on her feet.
But we are going to get married. You don't get away from me this time, lady. Not in your life.
What do you mean, so-called accident, Mr. Moretti? I thought we'd cleared that all up yesterday when I gave my statement to the sheriff.
Yes, I read his report, and you all appear to agree on what happened, down to the last detail.
Then you should be satisfied.
I know I should be.
Why are you trying to stir up more dirt? Old grudges are so unattractive. Why don't you just drop it?
A shooting is a serious matter, Mrs. Colby. I'm not entirely satisfied that this was an accident.
Are you accusing me of lying?
You could be trying to protect someone.
My husband, you mean?
Or Mr. Powers. It was his gun.
Now, why on earth would Mr. Powers want to shoot me?
I don't know, Mrs. Colby. Why would your husband?
Let me explain something to you, Mr. Moretti. My husband is an expert marksman. If he wanted to shoot someone, I can assure you that person would not be around for you to interview.
What are you doing here?
It's all right, darling. Mr. Moretti was just asking me some routine questions. I believe he was just leaving.
There are a couple more points I'd like to clear up first. For instance, why were you on Zach Powers' yacht that night?
The lady said you were just leaving?
Well, quit, will he?
Don't let him get to you, darling. He's just trying to stir up trouble.
I guess. Well, you ready to go home?
Oh. What a wonderful sound that word has. Oh, darling, you don't know how good that sounds to me. You don't know how ready I am. Come in, darling. Oh, it's you. I thought you were in San Francisco.
I was. I came back as soon as I heard about your accident.
Oh, how considerate. Have you made all the arrangements for your cruise with Hutch?
Yes, we leave tomorrow. Well, I expected to find an invalid, not the Queen of Sheba. I must say, you take a bullet in your head very well.
I can survive a great deal more than you think, Connie. Even your little scheme to undermine my marriage.
Ah, another scheme. Now, which one is this? I've lost count.
This one. Cheap and tawdry, even for you, I thought.
Am I supposed to know what that is?
What does it look like?
Well, it looks like a tape cassette. Why don't you play it for me?
Oh, I don't think I have to do that. You see, I've just had a word with Harold Jessup, and fortunately, he likes his job. And in any case, Jason has explained everything.
Oh, I wish I had been here to hear that.
Oh, I don't think you'd have been very happy. You see, Jason didn't believe any of this. He believes me. He believes in my love. Our love.
You're living in a fool's paradise, Sable.
Well, you're right about paradise. I know that he still loves me. That's why he gave me the tape. I am sorry, old God. You really seem to have bombed out on this one.
Your husband is in love with another woman.
No. I've got him back. And there is nothing you can do about it this time. You're all washed up, Constance. You've played your last card and you've lost. Have a good long trip, dear.
Not nearly as long as the one you're going to take, Sable.
What happens if you love someone so much you can't think of anything else?
Miles, now is the time for you to make a fresh start. Get over her.
I've tried. I can't. She's there in my mind all the time. I can't erase her. Then every morning when I come down for breakfast, there she is.
Maybe you should get away. Say, what about Daddy's offer? Go to New York?
New York?
You can do that now.
It won't solve anything.
Miles, all you need is some time.
Time isn't going to help either. There was nothing else before Randall. Then all there was Randall. Now there's nothing.
Then you have to make something.
I'm trying, sis. Honest to God, I'm trying. But I can't switch it off.
What is it, Kelly?
Mr. Kittredge is online, too.
Ask him to hold. Kiddo, I really have to take this one.
It's okay. I should take off anyway. I'll see you later.
Love you.
I love you too.
You can put Neil on now, Kelly.
He was just calling to say he's not coming in today.
Oh, not coming in?
No, he's in bed with the flu. Want me to call him back?
Yes, please. No, wait. On second thought, just tell me where I can pick up a tub of the best chicken soup in town.
You should know this, Spiro. The truth will always come out. Tell me, how did you know that the witness to the murder of Captain Livadas was a taxi driver?
What are you getting at?
Well, that was Michael Guillermo's on the phone just then. He assures me that, aside from the minister, only 2 people knew the identity of their witness against Jeff Colby, himself and the chief of police. Tell me, did you set up Miles Colby, too?
Me? I've got nothing against the Colbys. But you do, don't you?
That's what you'd like everyone to believe, isn't it? Of course it was Zach Powers. Who else has it in for Jason Colby? And then with me out of the way, Spiro Corrales could ride into the boardroom on his white Charger and save the day. And take over Power Shipping, or should I say, Corrales Shipping.
It has a good sound to it, Zach. But you're way off course.
I have enough on you to put you away for life.
But you won't use it, will you? Because you don't want the investigation into my mother's death opened up again.
For your mother's sake, I tolerated you, but all that is over now. Make all the threats you want. My hands are clean, but you're not moving in on me, and you're not moving in on the Colby girl. I'd risk sharing a prison cell with you first.
I got a better idea, Zach. You take the mother, I'll take the daughter. We'll share the Colby fortune instead.
Get out of here. Get out of my life and don't ever, ever interfere in my affairs again, or I swear on my father's name, it will be the last thing you do.
Nurse Colby to the rescue with chicken soup.
Monica, This is my wife, Gail.
And this is the bedroom. The kitchen's down the hall.
Excuse me. I must have the wrong house. I certainly have the wrong man.
Monica.
Cessna 39er79er Golf, you have not been cleared for departure. Cessna 39er79er Golf, this is the tower. Do you read me? Please stop short of the runway. 79er Golf, you have not been cleared for departure. There is inbound traffic ahead of you.
Connie, I thought you'd have left by this time.
How can I go anywhere at a time like this?
Time like what?
Are you really going back to that woman?
What gives you that idea?
Do you know what she's doing? She's moving all your clothes back into her bedroom.
Her bedroom?
Jason, she is determined to hold you to that miserable marriage.
Connie, don't you see this is a performance? It's her last hurrah. Now, I want you to stop worrying. Go on your cruise with Hutch. Enjoy yourselves. You both deserve it. I know how much it means to you.
You mean a hell of a lot more.
Believe me, your kid brother is going to be all right.
All right, okay. This is my itinerary. I can fly back from anywhere, anytime.
Trust me, big sister. By the time you get back, she'll be part of the past.
Well, I find that easier to believe if you hadn't given her the tape. Why, Jason? Why?
I couldn't use a thing like that. Connie, she's the mother of my children. She is not my enemy.
But Zach Powers is. He's the Colby enemy. He is using Sable. All right, if you want to play it noble, she will walk out of this marriage with half of your empire, and it will end up in Zach Powers' pocket. My God, Jason, he will own you. He will own all of us. And that will be the end of the Colbys.
What are you doing home so early?
Pack your bags. We are flying to the Dominican Republic. In a week, I'll be free, and we will be married.
I thought you were going to postpone, at least until Sable is herself again.
She's herself, believe me. I was a fool. I didn't want to hurt her any more than I had to, but now she's got it all twisted. She still thinks we can work things out. By putting it off, I've only made it worse. It's got to end. Now.
But running off like this, it just isn't fair to her.
Going on like this isn't fair to her. Or to us. Frankie, we've put this off all our lives. No more. You and I are going to be man and wife the way it should have been from the start. Now, you get packed. I've got to stop at the office, then we'll head for the airport.
Jason.
I'm leaving now. I'm divorcing you.
Divorce? But I thought... But I was sure that we could work things out.
You've been deceiving yourself about us. I guess I let you do it. The truth is, there's nothing left between us.
But why? What have I done?
What have you done? What haven't you done? You lied and schemed. You tried to get Connie committed. You dragged Jeff into court. You turned the house upside down and made life hell for everybody in it. Then there was Zach Powers.
But there was nothing between us. I thought you believed that.
I do. But you were seeing him. You know how I feel about him. How he feels about me. Sable. Face it. The marriage is over. It's been over for a long time.
That's not true.
Yes, it's true.
I won't let you go. Oh, please don't do this to me, Jason. Please, I beg you. I won't let you go. I can't.
I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you. I'm flying to the Caribbean for the divorce.
You're leaving me for her. You're going to marry her, aren't you? I won't give you a settlement.
You have no choice now.
But you gave me the tape.
The tape isn't important. You were on his yacht, alone. That's all it would take, don't you see? We don't want that. Please. I wish you well. Goodbye. God keep you.
Are you sure you don't want the doctor, Mrs. Colby?
He'll be here in the morning anyway. I'm really quite all right. I'm a little battered, but unbowed. Thank you, Min. That'll be all. Henderson, you can send Mr. Moretti up now.
Well, you were right. You're not only pregnant, you are 100% pregnant. Is that what you wanted to hear?
More than anything in the world. Jeff will be thrilled.
I'm sure you're a little further along than you figured.
Further along?
Yeah, I would say you're, 8, maybe 9 weeks into this pregnancy.
9 weeks? I don't think that's possible.
Well, I'm afraid it is. Now, one thing is sure, you're far more advanced than the 4 or 5 weeks that you originally calculated.
Well, it's true. Jeff and I did make love a couple of weeks before we were married, but 9 weeks? 9 weeks?
Fallon, I wouldn't worry about it. These days, it's nobody's business but yours. Whether you were married when you conceived. The important thing is, you're gonna have a baby. Yes. Oh, sure, I'll be right there. Would you excuse me for just one?
You love me. You said you love me.
Please don't do this, Miles.
I need you.
They just gave me the good news. Oh, sweetheart, you and I are the luckiest two people alive.
Mrs. Colby, are you telling me your husband did this to you?
My husband is a very possessive man, Mr. Moretti. A very jealous man.
Jealous? Anyone in particular?
I wasn't aware of it, but I was being followed. Jason had this tape of me and Mr. Powers. If you listen to it, I think you'll understand his state of mind at night.
Which night are you referring to?
The night he came looking for me on Mr. Powers' yacht.
May I remind you, Mrs. Colby, only yesterday at the hospital you told me a very different story.
My husband was in the room.
Are you implying that your statement was made under duress?
My husband is a very powerful man. He's used to getting his own way. I'm surprised I have to remind you of that.
I hope you understand the gravity of what you're saying.
I know exactly what I'm doing, Mr. Moretti. Exactly.
We are free, darling.
Are we?
Free at last.
I don't know. I've lived in the shadow so long, I'm afraid to come out in the light.
Welcome to the sunshine, sweetheart. 10 minutes after my divorce is final, we will be married.
It sounds too good to be true.
I'll take some time off. Onas's yacht is still in the market. I'll buy it. Take you on a trip around the world. There are magical places I want to show you. One place in Japan I've never shared with anyone.
I'd be happy anywhere with you.
Mr. Colby? Mr. Jason Colby?
Yes?
I'm afraid I'll have to detain you, sir.
What are you talking about?
It seems there's been a report of a...
Might have known you'd be somewhere in this, Moretti. What's going on?
You're under arrest, Colby. I told you I'd nail you sooner or later.
You're crazy. What's the charge? Sable.
Jason, forgive me. I couldn't go on lying for you. I had to tell them the truth.
Truth about what?
About everything. The beatings. The shooting.
What in God's name are you talking about?
There's no use trying to deny it. I'm not frightened of you anymore. They know you tried to kill me.